Hi. Have you ever wondered why these word from thousands of years repeating same cycle, sustaining age of fire? Well, probably not. But about me, it's really interesting topic. In psychology, why have term for this occurrence? Repetition compulsion. Jez, I'm just teen, I don't know anything about psychology, but I have easy solution for this problem. Okay, after long research, I finally know what repetition compulsion is. I can explain it. Well, repetition compulsion is an unconscious psychological drive to recreate and relive past traumatic events, painful feelings, or unresolved relationship dynamics. After this boring definition, which need long and deep research. Here you can said, fire repeating cycles and hollow curse isn't trauma of only one people, because cycles are event which happen since thousands of years. Then we can deduce this is an example of generational trauma, which is trauma, but for generations of peoples. Okay, but what is traumatic happen here? It can't be War with Dragons because it's happened 2 times first, when fire was linked first time, and next when wyverns attacked Lotric. It can't be War with Giants and with Demons, for same reason. Mabe Abyss. It's in every Dark Souls game. It always leads to tragedy like flooding a new Lundo, but it's also can't be traumatic happen for all word because it's always effects on small area like Alushle. About me traumatic happen, it's hollow curse. Yes, I suggested before, but now I will give arguments for that theory. First, it's one of main mechanic and biggest thread in every part of series. Next, its effects on every part of word. This theory have sense, and here you have examples.
Ain't she lovely? Her name is Yulia. She's plumb in love with me. You'd never leave my side now, would you, Yulia? Oh, you can forget it. I'm all that she needs. Careful! She'll bite your little fingers off. Be kind, Yulia, be kind!
Undead Merchant is perfect example of transitional state between human and crazy hollow. Jesus, mental state is equal to me after 8 hours of school. Maybe someday I will turn into a hollow. Well, he even after Link the Fire probably never go back to full mental health, especially without psycholog help. Undead Dragon is good example. This how Hollow Curse Destroy don't only mental health but also body and effects on other species than people's. And this changes like larger size, matte eyes, emaciation of body, and dealing poison. This characteristics we can see also on rat and dogs. And the last example show this how hollow curse effects on people who are completely health, but scared to even move from safe place, what's in the end leads to right to depression.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum, but too late now.
I have spoilered this character, but he and his cousins from other parts of series, seemingly, they are shallow, and they only rule is give as informations about the word. But they are perfect example of this, how depression and rationalization looks like. And now I will make something like mini psychological analysis of this guy. First, our friend is completely resigned. When we talk to him first time, he only sit in one place and starts mocks us. But after we talk to him next time, he will tell us about a word and tell us what is our ghoul.
Actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below.
Sorry for problems with audio. I don't know how to fix it. But well, this dialogue show us he still believes something can change, but he won't admit he believe. Why? Because he's trying to rationalize his cowardly behaviors, feigning indifference. But when something change, this structure completely breaks and show us like acting out like rationalization can't work in changing environment.
Did you ring the second bell? That is incredible, I must say. But now we have a new problem. It's noisy, it snores, and its breath is lethal. This is no laughing matter, I tell you. Damn, that stench.
Okay, to make it understandable, this situation is exaggerated in real life. He will probably never leave safe Firelink Shrine because, well, Framp bad breath. But I'm glad for it, because it's worked very well. As example, let's sum up. That analyze tell us how hollow curse reaches peoples who trying to not interfere in word. Well, to the moment. Everything starts when Gwyn connected the first flame with his soul and the dark soul. In this way, Dark Sign was created, when undead curse destroys humans' kingdom. In same time, Gwyn spread myth of Chausen undead witch was sustained by other gods in honor Lundo. Turned out plan was surprisingly effective. Propaganda properly works until end of the word, and now it's start of story we know from games. Our journey starts in Undead Asylum. Member Asylum is very ironical because this place is nothing more than extermination camp for peoples with Dark Sign. But while this is history of Hollow Curse, not discussion of the location. Sticking to convention, we skip Undead Asylum and lands in Firelink Shrine, where we meet Petrus from Thorolund, who offered us join to covenant named Way of White, which is believe in God's propaganda and active spread it. This covenant is responsible for myth of choosing undead. Its work not only in Lordran, but also in Karim or Thorolund. After move to the Undead Parish, we can see almost everyone is turned to Hollow, and somebody who is something like transitional state between Hollow and human. But I use Undead Merhant as example, and I don't want to liking about it before. In Undead Parish, we can observe how dogs and rats, and also pigs in Manjula turn into Hollow. Geez, I hate them because they are hard to hit, and rats also deal poison, and they deezing give me fresh PTSD, but they textures are suits in Hollow convention. Okay, but how animals turns into a Hollow? Well, we doesn't get any answer from Miyazaki, but it's probably happened when animals have 8 bodies of Hollows. And in every other location to the end, off the game, Hollow thread isn't discussed. To the last fight in the game. Fight with Gwyn, Lord of Sunlight, who is, well, just a next Hollow, in literal meaning of this word. But to prove this theory, I need to explain what is Hollow Curse indeed. Undead Curse is slow lossing a soul, and what is Linking Fire? Linking Fire giving a soul to the fire, and now my theory have sense. It's very ironical end story of Gwyn. He gets what he do to humanity. Okay, let's go to next part of series. In Drangleic, we have new mechanic of hollowing the most hated in FromSoft history. But it's also most lore accurate in Dark Souls trilogy. It's gradual loss of physical condition, and for big group of players, ungradual loss of patience. But while this mechanic have its own micro thread. First part is Ring of Binding. Ring we can find in Heidi's Tower of Flame, and about me it's one of the best rings in entire game. Because how we can read in description, it's an unusual ring of unknown origin. Limits the wearer's HP reduction when hollow. Alas, this ring will not make you human. What is lost is not easily retrieved. After fight with Vendrick, whose situ action is similar to situation of Gwyn, we can get Vendrick's crown, which also reduce effects of hollowing. This mechanic explains how Vendrick keeps his humanity and why he turns into a hollow after takeoff it. And finally, the last part of series Dark Souls 3 in this game, Thread of Hollowing is most expanded. First, in Undead Settlement, we can find an NPC Yoel of Lundor. How is a pilgrim? Pilgrims are a group of gloomy wanderers from the land of Lundor who come to Lothric to find the purpose of their final journey. Here we have two main theories. First theory says, under they shells, the humanity mutates into an angle, but not angle like that. More like that. And next theory says they just die in Lothric and just miss their purpose.
Me bamba!
But why they are that important to our topic? They are that important because pilgrims are our first contact with Sable Church of Lundor, a faction founded by sisters, three daughters of Manus Uria, Lilian, and Elfrida. Sable Church of Lundor trying to break the fire-sustaining cycle and institute Age of Darkness, but with little change called Usurpation of Fire, what means you absorb power of fire for yourself. This, how Sable Church treats hollowing, is very interesting. They don't treat it like a curse or doom. They consider it as final form of evolution in ritual of draw out true strength. This church is opposite of Way of White. It's finally alternative way. Instead of waiting for a champion who sustained the fire, its form of sublimation of trauma, what means they stop ignoring problem or waiting for help, they start to use it as something constructive. Cult of Hollowing is very symbolic as a symbol of sublimation, by the way. But now let's recognize we sustain Age of Fire and we move thousands years to the future to completely destroyed Ringed City, where only one living being is Gale, who's lost his mind in his search of Dark Soul. For peoples who don't know who is Slave Knight Gale, if you know who is he moved to the minute, you can see on screen. Gale is the same missionary sent out by the painting woman to bring her the blood of the Dark Soul for her canvas. He originally helped the player begin the quest line in the Cathedral of the Deep, but does not seem to recall the player when met. He is seen feasting on the pygmies in the hopes of obtaining the Dark Soul. However, due to this, he is seen to have lost his sanity and part of his humanity. When damaged enough, he bleeds the blood of the Dark Soul. This is all in part of his quest for the Painted Woman that led him to ruin, and the consuming of blood that destroyed him. When defeated, he drops the blood of the Dark Soul, which can be brought to the Painted Woman in order to paint a new world. Okay, let's back to our story. I hope I won't bore you too much. Well, you probably interest why he is that important for our topic. He is important because he finished the dying word, because isn't ready for extinguishing of a fire finally, when he get every part of Dark Soul lefting humans without any hope, he forget his ghoul and get crazy. First ending is Link of Fire. It's classic example of repetition compulsion. Choosing this ending is repeating same cycle. What's happened since thousands of years about me? It's bad ending, but not worse. Second ending is just end of Age of Fire. It's trauma recovery for word final end of destructive cycle. Ending number 3 is named Unkindled. Ending here at the end of a game, when Firekeeper start to extinguish fire, you grab it for yourself and trying to absorb it, but you are too weak and get burned by fire. This time, it's not trauma recovery, it's trying to sublimation of trauma, skipping trauma, recovery, destroying mental condition, and yes, its worst ending about me. And the last ending, usurpation of fire. This is ending closely related with Lundor Church. Here you absorb power of fire but not get burned because you passed ritual of draw out true strength. This ritual is symbol of therapy, which helped to do trauma recovery, and absorb power of fire is symbol sublimation. For now, it's everything. You could probably wait very long for next film because Holy Day starts, and I'm also make my own game in same time, but I'm doing my best. Bye.